Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam. See, when our attention is on the Nama Rupa, name and form, or the Jiva and the Jiva, one moment, and the Jiva, that is why we say we are born of the Akshara Tattva. If our attention is not on name and form, it's on the essence, then we will not say any word called Akshara Tattva or truth or reality or Atman or Atma or Chaitanya or consciousness. Then no words are required. Even the word absolute truth is not required. But because our attention is on the Nama, Rupa and the Jiva, therefore we have to use this word called Akshara Tattva. And this whole interaction that is going on right now, that we say that Akshara Tattva alone is the essence of all the name and form and all the Jivas, this is the biggest bluff. The reason we struggle in life, in our understanding, is because of this delusion where we are believing what we are perceiving. See, when there is perception without projection, when you see something as it is, then that is Jivan Mukti, that is realization. But our thing is, this is a laptop, is okay, this is my laptop, this is my wife, these are my children, this is my family, this is my life, these are my memories. I like this, I don't like that. Today is a beautiful day. Today is not a beautiful day. Why it has to snow today? Why it has to rain today? Why it can't be like yesterday? What are we doing? We are perceiving the world as it is coming to us, but we are projecting. And what are we projecting? Wife, daughter, mother, likes, dislikes, conducive, not conducive, gain, loss. And this is where our problem is. And when we live a life of perception, just like the saints and sages, they live in this life, but they do not project anything. That is Jivan Mukti. This is the fulfillment of life, where which equates to love and to be loved. Is the and how do you love and be love as well as be loved? Without any reason, reasonless loving, reasonless being loved. So to love and to be loved without any reason is the highest fulfillment that anyone, well, there is no anyone left when that happens. And therefore, so according to the examples that we saw in the previous verse, so in reality there is nothing like a pot space or a hall space or a different individuals. Just like from water's point of view, there are no different ways. From the gold point of view, there are no different ornaments. Everything is one reality alone. And conclusion is that this reality alone expresses as the Jeev Jagat Ishwar. And this is where we concluded last week, and now we enter into the second verse. Where are we? It says, Nama Rupa Bij Bhutad Avyakrita Khyat Swak Vikarapekshaya Paradaksharaat Param Yat Sarvopadi Bhedavarjitam Aksharasyaiva Swarupamakashasyeva Sarvamurti Varjitam Na iti neti ityadi visheshanam vivakshannaha. So he says here that what is the seed of name and form? The seed, the basis from which this manifest name and form have come out, its seed is unmanifest. Yeah, it is avyakrita. And what is this avyakrita? It is the energy. And what type of energy it is? It is that unmanifested energy which expresses as matter, and we call it as Shakti, Maya, Sita, Prakriti, etc., etc. See? So it is, here it says, Yat sarvopadi bheda varjitam aksharasyaiva swarupam akashasyeva sarvamurti varjitam. See? So here it says, it is superior, it is para, this avyakrita, this unmanifest energy, it is para, it is superior, independent, and it is also at the relative level, it is also called as akshara. Therefore, all the names and forms, when existing in unmanifest state, are also called akshara. See, very, very subtle point. If you catch it, you catch it. Otherwise, keep scratching your head. When all the names and forms become unmanifest, so unmanifest itself is para, because it is one with the supreme. And when all the names and forms have become unmanifest, then they are also, that unmanifested state is also called as akshara. Therefore, now you will understand when we say that when you go to sleep, actually you are one with the self. You just don't know it. So what is a deep sleep state? It is unmanifest state. All names and forms, everything that you know, the entire, all the thoughts in your mind have become unmanifest. So all the nama rupa, name and form, have become unmanifest. So that, what do we call unmanifest state on the seat of meditation? Oh, there is emptiness. Oh, there is nothingness. Oh, there is void. No, no, no. Don't go in that angle of understanding. So before we meditate, we must understand this point. What is that? When all the names and forms become unmanifest, that itself, that state itself is called as akshara. And just like example given here is, स्वरूपम आकाशस्येव सर्वमूर्ति वर्जितम नेति नेति इत्यादि विशेषणम विवक्षन्नाह. Just like the space, it supports all the forms. Same way, this prakriti akshara, this avyakruta akshara, this relative akshara, if you want to use that word, supported by the supreme reality, by supreme akshara, cannot affect it. And so here reality is said as neti neti iti visheshanam, neti neti ityadi visheshanam vivakshannaha. So here reality is said as not this, as only when we loosen our hold on what we think is the reality, then this is what is being mentioned here as an introduction to the second verse that will be explained now. See, when you take a piece of, not a piece, go to the beach, try this experiment sometime. You take the sand in your hand and try to hold it tight. What will happen? It will start slipping out of your fist. You're trying to hold the sand and it will start spilling out of here, spilling out of your between the fingers. It will spill out of here. And eventually nothing will be left in your palm, in your hand. Now, second experiment you do when you go. You can do it at home also. Use rice or use suji. Second experiment. Don't hold the sand. Don't hold it tight. Then what do? You take the sand and keep it in your hand. Keep it like this on your palm. Does it fall off? Do you lose it? Exactly the same way. When we hold on to life, when we hold on to names and forms, they slip out of us. But when we let go, when we don't try to hold on, when we don't get attached, when we don't exercise our ownership, then when we don't want to put a hook on everything anything or anyone, emotional blackmail, then nothing will slip. Then you are experiencing everything as it is. And in this way, example, just as the space does not hold on to anything.
86 Kayanos for, I don't know, 8-10 years now. So I was really looking to I was tired of, and the recent...
Put your audio off, Amrit.
Changing it to the latest one, but the new ones are not that good compared to the previous year's version. So I took like 3 months to really...
So in life, as we are moving through life, it is very important to loosen our hold on. You can't, okay, sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, Swami.
Yes.
So in spirituality, in meditation, in your life, on a day-to-day basis, moment-to-moment basis, live loose. Don't hold on to anything. Whatever you try to hold on, it is going to slip away from you. And this is what is stressed in this introduction. So what is the nature of Brahman in essence that is being told here? Divyo hyamurtah purushaha, Divyo hyamurtah purushaha, Sabhahyabhyantaro hyajaha, Sabhahyabhyantaro hyajaha, Aprano hyamana shubhro, Aprano hyamana shubhro, Yaksharat paratah paraha, Yaksharat paratah paraha. Together, Divyo hyamurtah purushaha, Sabhahyabhyantaro hyajaha, Aprano hyamanah shubhro, Yaksharat paratah paraha. This akshara Brahma that we are talking about, it is certainly Divya, Amurtaha, Purushaha, and so it is certainly Divya. Divya means it is divine. Amurta, without form. Purusha, it is the Supreme Person. And where is it available? Sabhahyabhyantara hyajaha. It is available inside. Bhayab bhyantara means outside, and antara is inside. And it is ajaha. Aja is, it is unborn. Then apranaha, it is without any, we need pranas to live, we need breath to live. He doesn't need any breath to live. Then manaha means he manaha, meaning what? We need a mind to survive in this world, to exist. That akshara tattva has got no mind. Then Shubhraha, it is immaculate. Yaksharat paratah paraha. And it is free from all aksharat paratah. It is free from all prakriti. Here, why it is saying just like aprano, hyamanaha. So here it is written yaksharat. Yaksharat, aksharat. So it is just like hyamanaha, beyond the mind. It has got no mind. So here when it says yaksharat, it is beyond aksharat. Which aksharat? The avyakrita. So this we have to understand. By yourself reading the verse, you will never understand this. Because aksharat, you will think, oh, what is this they are talking about? That one has to go beyond aksharat, akshara purusha. No, here the aksharat, the meaning here in this particular verse, as we mentioned before, that when all the names and forms have become unmanifest, that state is called avyakrita, unmanifest state. That unmanifest state by nature is akshara, but relative akshara. And that relative akshara is dependent on the original akshara. In other words, it's a part of it only. But when there are no thoughts, no name and form, it's one with it. So here it is told that so it is beyond the prakriti, beyond the so this particular akshara tattva, it is even beyond that unmanifest prakriti, unmanifest creation, and it is greater than that. And in this way, understand. Divyaha Dyotanavan Swayam Jyotishtavat. So here it says that the Akshara Tattva is called as Divya. What does Divya mean? Yes, divine we said, but what is divinity? Divya means that which is self-illumined, that which is self-effulgent, and therefore it does not require anything else to illuminate it. It is self-effulgent. Continuing, Divi va swatmani bhavo alaukiko va hi yasmad okay. Another meaning it is that it is it is existing all by itself. It doesn't require anything else for it to be sustained, just like avyakruta or avyakruta, that is unmanifest name and forms. The Moola Prakriti, it requires the Purusha. Without Purusha, the Prakriti cannot exist. See? Without the space, air, fire, water, earth, they cannot exist. See? Similarly, the Prakriti, it cannot exist without the Purusha principle or the Akshara Tattva. And therefore, here it says what? Divi va swatmani bhavah alaukikau va, means the Akshara Tattva does not fall in the purview of the 14 lokas. We haven't done this verse, na? Hello? Nahi kiya na? So it does not fall in the purview of the 14 lokas. So, bhur bhuva swa tapa janamaha satyam tala vitala sutala tala tala patala rasatala and so on, whatever the sequence is, I can't remember them. So what are these worlds? These worlds are that which is defined by desh kala vastu, space, time and objectivity. See? So here next part says, He yasmad murtaha sarva murti varjitaha purushaha purnaha purishayo va. Murta means form. Whenever we talk about the various lokas, planes of existence, the 14, 7 lower and 7 higher, where are they? They are out there in the world, but you can, whatever is there in the totality, it's available in the microcosm also. So below the, from the coccyx upwards is the 7 higher lokas, and the 7, from the anus downwards, it is the 7 lower lokas. And in all these lokas, they have a name and form. And here he says that it is, this Akshara Tattva is beyond all the fields of experience. You cannot experience it. I am experiencing you on the Zoom, you are experiencing me. We have an idea of the 14 lokas, where in our mind. And we have read somewhere or the other in the Puranas, etc., this loka is like that loka is like that. We can imagine. But we cannot put any imagination at work with reference to Akshara Tattva. We cannot. So it's beyond all the fields of experience. Because why we can? It is beyond all the fields of experience because it is free from all forms. The Akshara Tattva does not have any form. And you can take this cue, you can take this as a pointer for meditation. See? He says that Murti, Sarva Murti Varjitaha. So it is free from all forms. It is the Purna Purushaha. It is the complete person, meaning that Akshara Tattva. And Purishayova. What does Purishayova means? Puri means this body. Puri means city. And it is residing in this city called the body. This is the city of 9 gates or 10 gates, whichever way. One is closed. And therefore, दिव्यो ह्य मूर्तः पुरुषः स बाह्याभ्यन्तरः सह बाह्याभ्यन्तरेण वर्तत इति. And so what is murti? What is a form? All the lokas, all the planes of existence have form, and whoever is there also has a form. And as we told you, time, space, time, and objectivity define a murti, define a form. Without these three, desh, kala, vastu, you cannot have a murti. And therefore, your meditation can be, I am the presence, or appreciate the presence, or be aware, be attentive about the presence in the absence. This can happen before going to sleep, this can happen when you wake up early in the morning, or it can be while listening to lecture also. Or when you are sitting in meditation, then don't go to sleep when the thoughts become null and void. Then what to do? Before the thought becomes zero, last one, you be attentive of the conscious principle. You be conscious of that akshara tattva. You be conscious of the one in whose presence all this is going on, so that when that last thought also dies its own death, or it becomes unmanifest, you are still awake. Try, nothing to fear. It's very liberating. दिव्यो ह्य मूर्त पुरुष स बाह्याभ्यंतर सह बाह्याभ्यंतरेण वर्तत इति. So this divya purusha, this divine self-effulgent purusha, is amurta. It is without form, and it is pure consciousness, and this akshara tattva is as if covered with the thoughts of the mind, and the thought-free mind. Remember, thought-free mind is also called as consciousness. Consciousness with thoughts is called as mind, and mind without thoughts is called as consciousness. And what is this akshara tattva? Consciousness. So what is the conclusion that you come to? It is all pervasive. There is nothing outside it. अजो न जायते कुतश्चित् स्वतः अन्यस्य जन्म निमित्तस्य चाभावात्. यथा जलबुद्बुदा देर वायव्यादि यथा नभः सुशिर भेदानां घटादि. Examples are taken, and it is told that this person, this akshara tattva, is called as purusha because it is complete. It is also because, as we said, it is available in the puri, meaning it is available in this, it can be cognized within this body, and it lives in this body, therefore we can catch it in this body. If you don't have a body, how will you catch it? Where will you focus? In dream you cannot focus. Imagine you go out of the body, then the thoughts are even faster than the dream. You're stuck. You need realization is possible only through the human body. Even gods cannot realize. Oh my God. So we are really lucky. Yes, you are very lucky that you are born as a human being. Make good of it. Take advantage of being born a human being. Don't get lost in unwanted pursuits. The only pursuit as a human being is to realize that you are the infinite one. You are the self-effulgent one. And every moment of your existence, you should be working towards it, not working away from it. How do you work away from it? By thinking of name and form. How do you work toward it? In spite of the name and form, you are focused on the pure consciousness. You are attentive of the akshara tattva. You are attentive of the witnessing. See? And in this akshara tattva, this purusha, this amurta, this divya, sabbahya abhyantara, everything from outside and inside, everything is included in this akshara tattva. Nothing is excluded. Everything is included. Nothing is rejected. Then what is our lesson here? Accept whatever life is throwing at you. Every moment life is coming to meet you. Every moment. Accept it. What is our rule? Panchadashi says, accept everything, reject nothing, retain nothing. This is how the masters live. A Jivan Mukta Purusha who functions through the limitation of the body and the mind, and yet beyond the limitations of the body and the mind. This is his disposition. This is his disposition. So make yourself also available to that disposition. This, you cannot bring it about. It has to come about. How? Only when we are attentive, poised, contemplating upon the akshara tattva. And what is its quality? We are explaining all this, that it is divya, it is amurta, it is ajaha, it is purushaha. Then it said, what did it say? Ajo na jayate, it is never born. Everything that is born in this creation has a cause. What is born? An ornament is born. What is the cause? Gold. Or the goldsmith who is converting the gold into... what is the cause of a wave? We say ocean. What is the cause of you? Your parents. So everything in creation, we tend to see it as cause and effect. But here, this akshara tattva is ajaha. It is unborn, and therefore there is no cause for its existence. And not only that, it doesn't have any cause for its existence. It is not an effect of anything also. Because this whole creation is a play of cause and effect. They are also imaginary. Cause and effect don't exist. We have made it because we are identical to our form. So we see everything around. And we keep putting everything into the box of cause effect. This is the cause, this is the effect. This is the cause, this is the effect. See? So here examples are taken, just like for creation of waves, when wind blows, waves come on the ocean, or because of different upadhis are created in space, the space remains unborn. Similarly, reality, in spite of, when we say Reality means pure consciousness. Pure consciousness with thoughts is called as mind. Oh, really? My God, I understood. You have not understood anything. Because in reality, there can, from reality's point of view, there can never be any thoughts. But when we say this language, it is to create an impression on your mind that thoughts cannot exist outside the akshara tattva. If they cannot exist outside the akshara tattva, just like the physical creation cannot exist outside the space, you can't see space in this laptop. Only you can see the contours of the laptop, and you can say, oh, laptop is occupying this much space. But you can't see the space in every atom of the metal that has gone into making this laptop or this table or this chair or this carpet. You can't see that. But that is the truth. Inherent. We can see the outside space, but inherent in every atom is 99.999999999999999% space. Even more pervasive than that is this akshara tattva. So when we say 99.9999999% is space, then what is the status of the physicality? What is the status of the neutrons, protons and electrons? Minuscule. Almost nothing. But that we are giving importance, because with this crystallization of our consciousness, this is what is perceived. Till you don't train your mind to be attentive of the pure consciousness that you are, then the mind becomes extroverted straight away. So reality is unborn. Yatha nava, we saw that. Sarva bhava vikaranam janimulatvat tat pratishedhena sarve pratishiddha bhavanti. Sab bahyabhyantaro yajah atah ajaraha amritaha aksharaha dhruvaha abhayaha iti arthaha. Beautiful. Here what does it say? It says, Sarva bhava vikarana janimulatva tat pratishedhena. Everything in this creation is continuously undergoing modification. No, I am the same. No, you are changing. Every moment your cells are changing, your thoughts are changing, your breath is changing. Your health is changing, your disease is changing, your comfort, discomfort is changing. Every moment there is, in creation, change is the permanent principle in creation. So continuous modification. And anything that is born in this creation, it goes through 5 modifications. What are they? Birth, growth, disease, decay, death. These are the 5 modifications. This akshara tattva does not go through any of these 5 modifications. And you are that akshara tattva. So birth of the body, growth of the body, disease of the body, for the body, decay of the body, death of the body. Where are you coming in the picture? Nowhere. But we are so identified with our name and form that we think, I was born, I am growing, I am diseased, I am decaying, I don't want to die. I. See? So therefore, akshara tattva does not have these 5 modifications. Therefore, there is no question of birth for it. And because we are born and because we are identified with the form, we create memories and we are born again and again and again. This story of being born again and again and again is not available in case of akshara tattva. It is akshara tattva is not born again and again and again. Why? No birth. Therefore, future births are also denied because this birth is not there. Therefore, sabbahyabhyantaro hyajah. Therefore, it is inside and outside of everything. It is unborn. Therefore, it is unborn. It is immortal, and it is akshara, and it is constant dhruvaha. It is fearless. This is what we are trying to communicate to you. यद्यपि देहादि उपाधि भेद दृष्टि नाम विद्या वशाद देह भेदेषु स प्राणः स मनः सेन्द्रियः स विषय इव प्रत्यवभासते तलमलादिमदिव आकाशं तथापि तु स्वतः परमार्थ दृष्टीनाम् अप्राणो अविद्यमानः क्रियाशक्ति वांश्चलनात्मकः वायुर यस्मिन् नसाव प्राणः. So here he says that if in the beginning, where are we? Yadyapi dehadi upadi bheda drishti. So this is the, now we are looking at aprano yamanaha shubro yaksharat paratah paraha. So we are looking at the second line now. So and it says yadyapi dehadi upadi bheda drishti. So he says if those who are seeing the differences for those who are functioning through limitations, and why they are functioning through limitations, because they are under the influence of avidya, ignorance, and therefore they are seeing the Paramatma in the body. So such people say that he has the body, he has the mind, he has the senses, he has the pranas, etc. प्रत्यवभासते तलमलादि मदिव आकाशं तथापि तु स्वतः परमार्थ दृष्टीनाम अप्राणो विद्यमानः. So here he says space is, when we look out, it's like a dome. It's in the shape of a dome, covering the whole creation, covering our earth. So, but it is not like a dome. We see space as blue in color, but it doesn't have a blue color. Or it has a murky color or different colors as the day goes by, but it doesn't have any color. But due to the limitation of our eyes, na maladi, because due to the limitation of our eyes, we accept this. Abhi khana kha rahi hai, Upanishad chal raha hai. Due to the limitation of the eyes, we accept all these illusions or imagination, not imaginations, or appearances as real. Why? Because of ignorance. Why ignorance is coming into the play? Because we have not recognized that we are the akshara tattva, that we are the unborn one, that we are the self-effulgent one, that we are the fearless one. See? कहाँ गया? हाँ, तलमलादि मदिव आकाशम तथापि तु सर्वतः स्वतः परमार्थ दृष्टिनाम अप्राणो अविद्यमानः क्रियाशक्ति भेदवान चलनात्मकः वायुर यस्मिन् नसाव प्राणः. So he says that, but those who have a correct vision, those who have the correct perception, the correct vision of the reality, they discover this akshara tattva, and he is free of. We cannot live without vayu, we cannot live without air, we cannot live without the pran. But such a person who has discovered the akshara tattva as his essential nature, he is free from the pran, just like water has discovered its essential nature as what? It knows itself as water. But the wave, because there is wind, therefore the wave comes about, and if the wind is not there, the wave thinks, oh, how am I going to survive? How am I going to live? I am going to die. Oh my God. Similar is our story also. If there is no breath, if there is no vayu, pran or vayu, then which is nothing but movement, and without movement, without action, etc., we feel something is amiss in our life, and therefore, and if he comes to this discovery, because he has, if the wise person who has come to know his essential nature as akshara tattva and is not dependent on the pran and the vayu for his existence, then he sees the whole world by the vision of the Lord. Then he becomes, the Lord is functioning. And what is the vision of the Lord? All in me and me in all, I in all in one and one in all. This is his disposition. And so also, when he reaches that point, that realized master, such a man of wisdom, he also becomes a manaha. He is without a mind, meaning thoughts may be coming and going, but he is not attached to the thoughts. And thus, he is what does it mean that he has become free from the mind? That all the distinctions which are a norm for us, the distinctions of space, distinction of time, distinction of objects, right hand is not the left hand, head is not the toes, and so on. In breath is not the out breath, thought 1 is not equal to thought 2, waking is not equal to dream, and so on. Everywhere, our life is full of distinctions, full of differences. But in such a person, there are no distinctions. When we say all in one and one in all, there are no distinctions. That cannot be the vision of a wave. That has to be the vision of the ocean. Ocean knows that its essence is water, the absolute. So this wise person who functions in the world along with us, we see him also having a body, he is also breathing, he is also sleeping, he is also eating. How does he? This is his disposition, that he is free of all distinctions in his mind. तथा मना अनेक ज्ञान शक्ति भेदवत संकल्पादि आत्मकम मनो अपि mano api vidyamanam yasmin soyam amanaha. And therefore, this wise person who has come to know the Akshara Tattva, he is the Jnana Shakti Bhed. Subject object distinction has gone. Sankalpa, the thought, taking the thought to be the reality, that has gone, and therefore the mind is gone, and in this way he has become, he is of the, we can say that he is amanaha, he has got no mind. Aprano manascheti pranadi vayu bhedaha karmendriyani tad vishayascha tatha cha buddhi manasi buddhi indriyani tad vishayascha pratisiddha veditavyaha. And by these two words, aprana and ammanaha, without prana and without mind, now you have understood what is the disposition of the man of wisdom. So now what is, they are more qualifying more, that by these two words, aprana and amanaha, what is meant is that all pranas, all sense organs and their fields, and the buddhi, jnanendriya, their fields of operation, and all these are absent in the akshara purusha. From the water's point of view, there is nothing called ocean, there is nothing called wave, there is nothing called foam, there is nothing called tsunami, there is nothing called anything else, any other word, that tide, that you want to give to the water. Akshara Purusha, the Akshara Tattva, also is devoid of all distinctions. And these were all the, what are they? The pranas, the mind, the sense organs, their fields, the intellect, the jnanendriyas and their fields, all the five elements, all these are absent in the Akshara Purusha. Then what does Akshara Purusha see everywhere? He sees only himself. He doesn't need eyes to see. Remember, he is self-effulgent. So, you can't even say that he is experiencing himself everywhere. Ocean can say that I am experiencing myself in all the waves. That is also can be argued. But from Akshara Tattva point of view, there is no experience. Therefore, Upanishads say it is an experienceless experience. तथा श्रुत्यंतरे ध्यायतीव लेलायतीव बृहदारण्यके उपनिषद इति. तो here it is told in the it is said that Paramatma is meditating, and we so when we see that when we move a pot, that the pot space moved, but actually the space has not moved. Yesterday I showed that example last time. I don't know if it was in this class or in Gita class, but somewhere. So if it is an empty glass is there and you are moving the glass from point A to point B, it seems that the glass along with the glass space has shifted its position. But actually speaking, space has not moved. Space is continuing to be space. And therefore, yasmat chaivam pratishiddhopadhidvayaha tasmat shubbraha shuddhaha. He says, yasmat, therefore, by aprana and amana, these words we can also mean as Jagrat, Swapna, waking and dream states, and Akshara Tattva is free of them. In other words, here it says what? Tasmat Shubraha Shuddha. Shuddha means pure. Shubra means immaculate. And therefore, this Akshara Tattva that you are, is you are immaculate and you are absolutely pure. Therefore, we must not go on a rant and keep feeling bad that I am a sinner, I did this, I did that, I should not have done this, I should not have done that. If you wholly, completely accept yourself as the Akshara Tattva, from that point of view, everything that is taking place is not taking place. Why? Because from Akshara Tattva point of view, it alone is. There is no other. But from the relative point of view, where there is the other, immediately expectation, guilts, attachments, emotions, everything comes up. अतः अक्षरा नाम रूप बीजः उपाधि लक्षित स्वरूपात् सर्व कार्य करण बीजत्वेनोपलक्ष्यमाणत्वात् परम तद उपाधि लक्षणम अव्याकृताख्यमक्षरम सर्व विकारेभ्यः तस्मात् परतः अक्षरात् परः निरुपाधिकः पुरुषः इति अर्थः. Here he says that that this akshara, now we are talking here, Shankaracharya ji says that is ata aksharan nama rupa bija, that which is the seed of all the nama roop, that akshara we are talking about now. Ataha, therefore akshara, which akshara? Which is the seed of nama rupa bijopadhi and so on. So that akshara, now we are not talking about the absolute one, we are talking about the relative one, the avyakruta. So which is the seed of all the names and forms and all the differences. This upadhi of prakriti is the seed of all manifest worlds. Isn't it true? Isn't it your experience? Where do all the waking and dream dissolve back into? Where do they become unmanifest? In the deep sleep state. Where do they come back out? From that unmanifest state, all the names and forms again in the waking state come out. So that unmanifest state in the deep sleep, that if you remain awake, right now we are ignorant, when we go, try to remain awake when you go to sleep. That state where the mind is devoid of all thoughts, all differences, that state is called as avyakruta, and that state of empty mind, if we want to use the word mind devoid of all names and forms, is by nature akshara, relative akshara. It is complete because all the possibilities are present in that empty mind. All the possibilities. It is the source of the whole creation. Which creation? Waking and dream. It is the source. And in this way, so all the prakriti is the seed of all the manifest world, and so this avyakrita or the relative akshara is superior to the whole world. Whether you take it as the absolute or you take it as the relative akshara, it is still superior to the whole world, and you cannot find him in the world when you are looking at the manifest world through the instruments of cognition. You cannot. Therefore, and Paramatma is even superior to this relative akshara or the avyakrita. Hope too much usage of these words is not confusing you. So you have to remain alert. You can't be on the phone. You can't be having your meetings while listening to this. Therefore, supreme reality is independent of the prakriti. Sorry. Hmm. Ah. And the supreme reality is is the superior most, and there is no differences in it. And in this way you understand. And see, when we say this, that the Akshara Tattva is superior to the whole creation, whether it is relative Akshara Tattva, Avyakrita, unmanifest, or the absolute reality, the unborn one, then when we are talking that there is no mind, there is no differences, there is no world, there is no, so what is meant here is that you have to understand. It can become very, very crazy. That, oh my God, this whole world is not there. That means I have been living a lie all my life. Actually, you have been. So, what does it mean? As long because we see the Mahatmas also functioning, no? Realized master also living in this world. So, so what is meant is that the instruments of cognition, the mind, etc., are absent. Though it is said that they are absent, it means that when we are it means that when we see fire, we say fire has burning power. So we maintain a healthy distance from the fire and we make the fire our slave, and it functions for us without burning us. Exactly the same way, when you understand that when you get attached to the mind, the thoughts, the instruments, the sensory objects, etc., then understand, if you get attached to anything in this creation, anything that is projected, then it is like fire, it will burn you. Anything that you get attached to must precipitate as memory. That memory will create a desire. That desire will make you act, and you are lost, you're caught up in the loop. So just like once we understand fire is hot, we maintain a healthy distance and follow the rules of engagement. Exactly the same way the scriptures are telling us that all these thoughts, whether they are concepts, imaginations, ideas, subject, object, instruments, whatever, body, breath, the world, the heaven, the 14 lokas, all this is objective. And if you engage with it, you have to pay the price. You will face the consequence. It will burn you. How? By keeping you in the loop. We want to escape from the loop. We want to realize. Escape here does not mean that I am afraid of it, therefore I escape. No. I want to rise above it. Then maintain a healthy distance with the world. And engage. Set some rules of engagement within yourself, that you engage with the world, but you do not get burnt by the world. You don't. So what is the world? At a very personal level, sukha kachra, gila kachra, dry garbage and wet garbage. Dry garbage is the possessions, wet garbage is the relations. So don't get caught up in them. But maintain a healthy. We talk about fire. We use the fire to cook, but we don't get burnt by it. So maintain everything. Life must go on as it is going on. But if because of that engagement in life, if engagement is done by the ego, then you will get burnt, because ego is the result of attachment. Unhealthy engagement. Then what is the healthy engagement? Giving the world zero value. And how do you give zero value to the world? By being attentive towards the akshara tattva, which is unborn, which is self-effulgent, which is constant, which is divine, which is unmoving. which is unborn, by giving attention to that, automatically the negation or the dissolution or the melting of the world automatically happens. Just like it happens every night when you go to sleep. How many times we have given this example? You all nod, but you don't practice it. Every night you must practice. So just like from fire's point of view, there is no burning power. From fire's point of view, there is no light. From sun's point of view, there is no sunlight. It just is. Similarly, from fire's point of view, there is no burning power or there is no crackling, and that is all happening because of the wood. But fire, if we take the position of the fire, fire and the burning power of the fire, they are one and the same. You cannot have burning power separate to fire. You cannot have sunlight separate to sun. You cannot have an ornament separate from gold. You cannot have a wave separate from water. Similarly, you cannot have Prakriti separate from Ishvara. Are yaar, understand this. So similarly, I am not that who is separate from my potentiality. See this. And this is when we understand it in this way, then we will not fight with the mind, then we will not fight with the thoughts, then we will not fight with the emotions, then we will not fight with the imaginations. Everything that is happening in the mind by way of thoughts, all these are thoughts anyway, is only because some data has been collected from before. Now you have clicked out of that. You have recognized that you are all that there is. If that goes on, so be it. If it doesn't happen, doesn't go on, so be it. But there is nobody to say so be it. This is realization in so many words. When it happens, there will be no words. But till it is not, till we are trying to understand, then this is the best way, as the Upanishads are indicating. And just like the water does not say there is ocean or waves, similarly the akshara tattva also doesn't say that there is mind and there is body. It doesn't say that. So then what should be our disposition when we are moving around in this world as a seeker? Our angle of approach, our engagement, our rule of engagement with this world should be that the whole world is the vibhuti of the Lord. It is the effulgence of the Lord. It is the fragrance of the Lord. Trambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam. Sugandhim, vibhuti, fragrance. Taking this position, it will help us. But no, I have to do it, I have to control, I have to do that, I have to do this, I have to do. And then when you take this position that this whole creation is the fragrance of or the vibhuti of the Lord, then what do you do with this world if everything is the Lord only? Then you serve the world. Then you serve. That's the only option left. And serving does not mean going and hugging everyone and going and showing compassion and giving donation. No. If he chooses you to do it that way, then you do it. Then what? There is no hatred towards anyone. Bring a smile to anyone's face who comes and meets you. Inspire anyone who comes in contact with you, just like Mahatmas do. Sometimes by scolding, sometimes by just touching, sometimes by just feeding them, sometimes by few words. But every person who goes to a Mahatma, more or less every person who goes, he comes back with some clarity, with a new understanding about himself and the world. See? So what is realization then? When we look at Jivan Mukta Purushas, it is the freedom to be with the Supreme even while the upadhi, the conditioning of the body is there. Such a person is called as Jivan Mukta. If there is no body, you cannot call anyone Jivan Mukta. See? So our freedom, we have to come to a point where we recognize that we are one with the Supreme Reality in spite of the body. Body meaning body, gross body, subtle body, causal body. In spite of the body, in spite of the 5 koshas, pancha koshas, we are free to swim in the reality, be one with the reality. And in this way, one must bring about the understanding. Give me a few minutes more and we'll complete this paragraph. Yasmin tadakashakhyam aksharam samvyavahara vishayamotam protam cha katham punarapranadi matvam tasya iti uchyate. He says that when it is said that this whole world is permeated by the akshara tattva, how can you say it is aprana, amanaha? He is questioning. यदि ही प्राणादय प्रागुत्पत्तेः पुरुष इव स्वेन आत्मना सन्ति तदा पुरुषस्य प्राणादिना विद्यमानेन प्राणादिमत्वं भवेन् न तु ते प्राणादयः प्रागुत्पत्तेः पुरुष इव स्वेन आत्मना सन्ति तदा अतः अप्राणादिमान् परः पुरुषः यथानुत्पन्ने पुत्रे अपुत्रो देवदत्तः. So who is this questioner? His name is Devadatta. In our जैसे Osho uses Mullah Nasruddin, Swamiji uses Gupta ji, our Shankaracharya uses, well, they both learned from him. Shankaracharya uses Devadatta, the stupid one, the ignorant one. So how can you say it is a prana, mana? Because behind the eyes there is the reality. So how can you say that reality is without eyes, mind, etc.? So the teacher says, because this prana, etc., before their creation, they were not there. Pran came into creation only when the body came. Whether you call this body individual body or you call the total body. What is the total body? Remember in one of the Upanishads we saw, what is the name of whom do we call total prana? Brahmaji. So he is called as Brahma. He also was created. He was not there from the beginning. He appeared. In different Puranas, he is showed as coming from the navel of the Lord, Narayana. So similarly, we are born dead. Then 1 or 2 slaps on the back and then the out-breath begins, and then the in-breath begins, and then the pranas become activated in this body. But every child is born dead. So here he's saying, where did the pranas come from? Before the pranas were created, they were not there. They began in time. And when the death happens, the pranas will leave. So they are not permanent. They are not eternal. Relatively, yes. But absolutely no. So, so here we are not talking about the birth and the death of prana, but here we have to talk about it as they manifest. So that potentiality of pranas was always there. Under certain conditions, they become manifest, and at the time of death, the pranas become unmanifest. See, as you know them, and this manifestation and unmanifestation of prana. Can you equate that with the akshara tattva? No, akshara tattva is not. It does not manifest. It does not unmanifest. It is always the same. In its presence, the pranas appear and manifest and unmanifest. In its presence, mind manifests, thoughts manifest and unmanifest. Waking, dream, deep sleep, manifest and unmanifest. Time manifests and unmanifests. Objects appear and disappear, manifest and unmanifest. But the akshara tattva, that is you, ever remains the same. Ever is the constant. So all these prana and mana, meaning thoughts, they were earlier absent, then they were present, and after some time again they will become absent. This is not the case with the akshara tattva, and therefore when the Upanishad says aprana, apmanaha, they were if they were existing, we would have said saprana samana, but that is not the case. Then it says, so this is till this point, we have now, the second verse has been concluded. The Devadatta again says, Katham tena santi pranadaya ityuchyate. So he again asks a question, and why? And I'll ask the question and we'll see it in the next class. Why the prana and mind, mana, do not exist eternally along with the reality? Why? Because you have got a mouth, so you ask a question. Now the teacher will answer that question in the next class, and we will take it from there. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sit quietly for a moment.